guests here, and I hope everybody knows who they are. Everybody want to welcome on? We have Todd, Haberkorn, Steve, Blum, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn.
And Cloud. Yeah, give it up for Cloud. Woo! Much better dressed than we are.
This is a Q&A, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. Please do one question at a time, though, rather than stack of questions, so that we can get as many people as possible. This holiday themed, I'm sure it's Sunday, everyone's tired. I'm sure yesterday was really rough on all people, so if you're all waking up with us too.
I know, if our neighbors are here today, you must be very tired.
Heyo. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna come down here. I've got a question. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Can I come sit with you? Okay. What's your name?
Gabriella.
Hi, Gabriella. Good to see you. What's your favorite thing about Steve, besides his voiceover?
He's a really nice guy.
He is. Very good. You win $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Hi. What's your name?
Emily.
Emily. What do you think Mary does on her day? She doesn't have a lot of free time, but when she does, what do you think Mary Elizabeth does with her free time? She cosplays. What do you think Mary cosplays as? Herself! Let me tell her what she was! That's right! That's right. Hi, what's your name?
Revi?
Revi?
Yes.
Where's that from?
It's actually my nickname.
Who gave it to you?
Myself.
Oh, that's nice. You're
I have a
self-made.
question for
What's that?
I have a question for her.
Yes.
What do you think Todd has under his hat?
A screaming gopher.
He's sleeping right now. The gopher's sleeping. What is, if you could have Mary and Steve over to your house for dinner, what would you make them?
Ramen?
If she had you over to her house for dinner, she would make you ramen.
I would love that.
Okay, we're coming over. Where do you live? Give us your address. Nobody will know. It's okay.
How many times have you guys been to Japan?
I've been to Japan once.
Me too.
And was it for a project or for a pleasure?
It was for the Tokyo Anime Fair.
Okay.
So I went over there with Yutaka Maseba, who hired me, first started directing. So he was wonderful, wonderful. And it was really fun. I got to go to Tokyo Disney, which actually I really wanted to do, which was kind of cool.
How is that different from the Disney here?
I remember it was kind of a gray day, so I just remember it not being as bright and colorful as the Disney here. Because of their palm trees and everything else, and there weren't any palm trees in there.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of a winter Disney.
Oh, like a Game of Thrones type Disney.
Yes. Yes, it was a Baraka. It was a Stark Disney.
Okay. Now, see, what about you?
I was in Japan when I was not in this business. Actually, I was working for a film company, and we were selling foreign rights to sci-fi horror films like Reanimator and Ghoulies, and worked for that company.
Okay.
And I went for the Tokyo Film Festival and film sales event that they had there. So it was sort of like being in Alcatraz, because I was there for, I think, 5 days. 4 of those days, I was in a hotel room selling to the same people that we saw all year long who traveled to these different conventions.
All right.
And so I literally had 1 day in Tokyo to run around and play.
Did you, when you were sitting down and talking with companies and they're pitching ideas and things like that, and you had to let someone go or tell them, your idea is just, it sounds good, but it's not going to be a go, how do you prep yourself for an uncomfortable conversation like that? Did you have to do that, or did you send like a flying monkey or a stormtrooper? How did you handle that?
It wasn't up to me, actually. I was the schlepper for the company. I was there to set up, do all of the legwork for it, and then break everything down while everybody else went around and played. I wasn't that high up in the company at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I had a title and flew coach while everybody else flew first class. and I was the packing boy. I was the whipping boy. I was the one who went and got coffee for the executives and stuff. So it wasn't very glamorous.
Well, but the thing about it is, though, you sat in coach and everyone else sat in first class. When if the plane ever went down, they would die first.
That's true.
Okay, I'm gonna come back over here.
Todd, we need you.
No, I like seeing you guys. Okay, let's see. Oh, you totally filled on here right now.
You look awesome. What is going on here?
It's prosthetic makeup.
How long did this take you to do?
About 2 hours this morning.
You look fantastic. You look like, have you ever seen that National Enquirer where it's like the kid that grew hair all over their face?
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's because that's you. You were taking the photo. You didn't get to see it because it was you. And so, is this the first time you've done this?
I did it at MetroCon one day.
Just for a day. It's a lot to do. Does this irritate your skin at the end of the day?
Not particularly, but it takes a while to get off.
Takes a while to get up. Do you do it by yourself?
Yes.
Now, do you walk around and you look at other people that have kind of fantastic things on their costume and you're like, I'm doing it better than you. I'm huge, you're not. Do you ever say that, or you just walk around and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. I learned something from that. Or do you think everyone needs to learn from you because this is awesome?
I think people need to not have hair in my eyes like I do.
All right. Well, it looks great. Thank you for suffering for your art. You look awesome. Now, I have a question for you. Okay, if Mary Elizabeth, Mary, she has a twin sister. Did you know that?
No, I do not.
I just taught you something. What foreign country would you like to go to one day?
Japan.
You want to go to Japan? I have a feeling you're going to need to go with them because they're going to be really good guys. Mary, what place would you like to go to that you haven't been yet?
Fiji. I want to go to Fiji really badly. Stay in a place called Turtle Island for a couple of weeks.
Steve?
Bali. I want to go to Fiji and Bali.
Pack your bags, Steve. You guys are going to Fiji.
Yes! I haven't had 2 tickets right here.
Yeah.
You're going to Fiji and you're going to Fiji.
Wouldn't that be...
Sitting outside, it's going straight to Fiji, non-stop. It's shaped like a cat.
I pull out 2 tickets to Fiji and I'm like, okay, we have the DNA results. Steve, you're the father, but you're both going to Fiji.
Actually, they're thinking of doing a train from London all the way through Europe and Russia that ends in Japan. It's going to be like an Orient Express kind of thing, but through Russia, so the Russian Express, I don't know. But I would love to do that one day. I think that would be amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, Fiji would be cool. I eat a lot of their apples, so I feel like... Where would you go, Steve, if you could go to like a foreign land you haven't been to?
Well, I would go with her to Fiji first. And then he would go to Africa, probably. I would go to Africa.
Oh, right on. Very cool.
Where are you going this year, Todd? Are you going anywhere special?
I'm going to go to Thailand and take care of some elephants. To a sanctuary out there. It's going to be very hot. Yay, summer.
Are you going for Christmas?
Not for Christmas. It's going to go at the end of March. I'm going to go for about a week and a half to 2 weeks and just take care of elephants and feed them and bathe them and play with them and just, make sure their life's going okay.
So they're not babies when you get there?
Not all. They're saving up. They're saving up. And so, because I already fostered an elephant in Nairobi at a sanctuary out there, and I checked it all out. And you got to make sure when you donate to these charities that they're legit and the money goes where it says it's going to go. And I actually know some people that we all know that have been there. They've actually been to the sanctuary. So I was like, okay, I'll donate to that.
You're in Tara, right?
They've been to the Thailand one, right?
I think so.
This one.
This a tiger sanctuary too.
They've been to. That's where they got the tiger pictures.
Yeah.
See, I want to do that too. I want to take care of all the animals. Are there animal lovers in here? Is there anyone that hates cats and dogs in here?
No.
Oh, this man, right? Oh, wait, no, I'm kidding. Okay. All right, I just want
Bikes
to
are too fun with dogs.
I do have a couple questions.
They're smarter than you.
I know.
David dogs are smarter than all of us.
Never said that.
Okay. Here we go. Hi, guys.
Todd Haberkorn, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions? Please raise your hands.
Steven Universe.
My question's for Todd. Who's your favorite character to voice?
My favorite character to voice, I think, has to be Natsu, because if you're going to do 276 episodes as a character, that better be your favorite. So, I really like him.
Hi, my name is I'm Lauren. I went to Tampa Bay Comic Con last year in 2015. I don't know if you remember me. I was the Armin that asked what color your socks were.
My socks?
Yeah, I want to see your socks again this year.
These are spicy.
They have skull and crossbones on them.
Next question?
Hi guys, this is a question for all of you since holiday themed. My family's tradition for Christmas is usually to watch A Muppet's Christmas, and I was wondering what are your traditions if you have any?
Steve Arena, what are your traditions?
I love Elf. And I especially love it now that I've gotten to know Maurice LaMarche. Remember when he belched? You heard that? That was Maurice LaMarche, who's the voice of Brain from Pinky and the Brain. I didn't know that when I first saw that. And he does that for us in sessions. It's really great. He's the sweetest guy. He's very well composed, and then all of a sudden, and the microphone, the walls will flex. It's awesome.
There's something on Christmas Eve, my family all sings. We're sort of the Von Trapp family. We get together and we all sing. We always have our whole lives. And we do 4-part harmonies, and we get a group of people together and go Christmas caroling around our neighborhood. And then we Christmas carol over to Michelle Ruff's house. If you know Michelle Ruff, she's a very wonderful voice actor as well. We have some.
For me, I try to, for my little clone, I try to make his really special.
Yeah.
And so what I try to do is do a lot of fun experiences. For Christmas gifts, I try to give experiences. And so I do that, and this week we're gonna do horseback riding and indoor skydiving and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
So yeah.
Good.
Maybe one day a tree. Yeah.
I didn't do Christmas till I was a grown-up.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, I was raised Jewish and my parents wouldn't let me. So my friend had a huge Christmas tree with his family. I had to sneak over to his house to help them decorate it. But since I've been an adult, I like it. It's really fun. It's just a nice time of year.
It is. It's beautiful. I used to sing in the choir when I was a kid and do the whole. It was wonderful. So the Hallelujah chorus is one of my favorite things. Everybody stands up and sings, and it's awesome. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's just the music this time of year, I think, is really what is so wonderful. I mean, there's whether you're simply having a wonderful Christmas time or you're singing the Hallelujah chorus. You know, there's just some wonderful, wonderful music.
Or Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
I feel like I can imagine like your parents busting and go, Stephen, what are you doing? It was decorating a tree?
It was exactly that.
Yeah, really?
Exactly that. They finally let us have a Hanukkah bush, which was a piece of driftwood that they had in the house. They had this sort of an ornamental piece of driftwood, and we snuck out and bought these blue Christmas balls and tinsel, and we decorated that, and my mom finally let us. She fought with my dad until he let us do that. Yeah. So that was cool. But yeah, they were pretty strict about that kind of thing.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, Jesus is all right with me. I'm okay with that.
Jesus, he's my friend.
Hi guys, happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you.
I just wanted to know what first pushed you into voice acting, or first gave you the idea to go into voice acting.
What gave us the idea to go into voice acting? Mary?
I was an on-camera actor. I was saved by every sort of B or C-list actor on the planet, from Scott Bakula to Lorenzo Lamas to Chuck Norris. Whoa, whoa. And then I was on Xena, Warrior Princess, and the horse I was being hanged on reared up and fell on top of me and dislocated my kneecap. So I came back to LA, and I was sort of incapacitated for a little while. And a guy named Peter Spellos introduced me to Yutaka Maseba and Zero Limit Productions. It's the company that did Akira, and I started doing voiceover for them, and that was it. 2 years later, they gave me Cowboy Bebop to direct, and I never looked back. I was like, ooh, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I went there thinking I was going to be an on-camera actor. I was never really happy doing it, but it led me to what I was supposed to be doing, which was this. And now I'm here with you guys. So yay.
How about you, Todd?
I feel like you should have
For me, I got started in stage, and then that led into on camera, and I did that for a long time. And actually, VO was the last little piece of the puzzle. And I had just gotten out of college. Mary and I actually went to the same college. And I had just gotten out of college, and I was working full-time as an actor already, but my mom really drilled into me that that was not what I should have been doing. So she goes, "Why can't you be a doctor or a dentist, son?" And I said, "Mom, I don't want to do that." She goes, "Look at your great uncle and his kids. They are dentists." I go, "Yeah, but they have arranged marriages." Anyway, they did. They did. My great uncle bought them a dentistry, and then he was at the reception desk screening the women that would come in, and he would like earmark them and be like, "You're going to marry them, and you're going to marry them," and they did. But that didn't happen with me. And so I had gotten out of college at 20, and then I said, well, I probably need to go get a job because my mom said I need to, even though I was already working full time. So I went and became a teacher, and I taught theater arts for a little bit, 2 years. And so as I was doing that, I was getting more and more VO work. I had done Barney, I was Mr. Knickerbocker, and then that kind of led into VO strangely. And then it came to this point where I was getting luckily so much VO work that I was like, okay, I really can't do teaching justice and on camera and VO. I need to make a choice. And I felt like I was not doing the kids a great service because I was always so exhausted. I was so tired, and I felt so bad. Like I've run into some students later, and they became fans and stuff, and they said, "You were the best teacher, da da da, this and that." And I think back, I was like, it was horrible because I mean, I wasn't mean or anything. We did do a lot of practical things, but I was so tired that there were times when if the kids were boring in their presentation, I was like, what? A+. And so I was like, I gotta get out of this. I can't do that, it's not fair to them. And so here's what sealed it for me. And this actually may be something for you guys. If you're wondering, should I go for what I love? Or should I stay in this with seemingly good, nice, structured thing? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Some people love that, and that's what they love. I was walking down the hallway, and there was a teacher who'd been teaching at that school for 30 years, walking the other way. And I looked at him, and he looked beaten down. He just like staring at the ground, walking, and I talked to him, and I said, "Hey man, what's up? What's going on?" He goes, just, another day. And I said, well, if you could do anything, what would you do? And he goes, "It's too late. I've already put all my eggs in this basket." And so I was like, I'm out. I'm out. And I got out, but not before winning Teacher of the Year, mind you. And the principal, who didn't like me because he didn't like theater, had to read that over the overhead speaker. And you could hear the little pause. He was like, "And the winner for Best Teacher of the Year is Mr. Todd Haberkorn." I was like, oh! And so, but then I got out and I told the kids goodbye and then went into voice acting full time, and it just luckily kind of worked out.
Well, I think Steve's story actually disproves that guy that it's never too late. Never too late.
That's true. I got in because of free food, actually. I was working at that same film company. It was called Empire Entertainment at the time. And I was working in the mailroom, and I was a starving musician. I was playing in an R&B band, 15-piece stage band, and I wasn't that good, but I loved it. I loved playing music, and so this was what I used to support myself. And in the mailroom, the head of the mailroom was casting for a Japanimation program called The Guyver, and I had the deepest voice in the room, and he needed a creature. And so he asked if I would come in an audition. Everybody else in the building, in fact, everybody else in Hollywood is an actor in some form or another. I was literally the only one who didn't have acting training. And so I didn't really want to do it. I was very intimidated, but he offered me free breakfast and lunch if I would come in on a Saturday. And he said if I got the job, they'd pay me $7 a line to record this creature. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. They pay me to make noises that I make in my bathroom? This is amazing. So I went on a Saturday, and they showed me some footage, and it was a creature called a zoonoid, and he was ripping the arm off of another creature and beating him with it or something. And he said, "What would that sound like, and can you match the lip flaps of the creature doing this?" And I just looked at the screen and I went, and they went, "All right, you're hired." And I ended up doing 26 episodes on the show, and they eventually gave me the role of the main bad guy on the show. And I don't know why they did that, but I basically learned on the job, because in those days, they brought all of the actors in at one time. There were like 20 people in the room, and we just sort of step up to the microphone and then kind of come back. And I got to watch some of the best actors in LA doing this work, and I basically was just taking notes and copying everything they did and absorbing it all. And it was just a natural thing for me. It was something I never thought I could make a living at, and I didn't. I stayed with that same film company for almost 15 years, became an executive. I was the head of marketing at that film company, and I had a corner office on Hollywood and Vine, and it became really corporate and ugly and mean. And that company started out really fun and like a little guerrilla filmmaking company. We all loved each other. It was super creative, and it wasn't that anymore. And so at 40 years old, I booked a 7-Eleven commercial, and I quit my job and decided to do voiceover full time. And then the union went on strike, and I was out of work for a year and a half, and took on other jobs. I was working 3 jobs to support my voice acting habit. It had become sort of like my secret little pleasure on the side. And I wasn't sure if I could ever make a living at it, but like Todd was saying, I was doing what I loved to do, and I didn't really care if I made money at it. And I do care that I make money at it now, because I like that part too. That's good. But that's never been my focus in the industry, and I think that's gone a long way for my career, because I still love doing it as much today as I did back then. Every time I walk into that room, or every time I work with people like this, I go, wow, I can learn something from you guys, and they make me laugh, and it fills me up. And then the after effect of that, coming to conventions and meeting you guys and hearing what this stuff has meant to you, that was just a happy surprise. We thought we were, just barking into a microphone, and then all these years later, you guys say this stuff means something to you, and I went, wow, I didn't have to become a doctor like my dad wanted me to. I had the same pressure too.
Steve, I know I'm not your mother, but why are you not the dentist?
Very pretty girl come in for you. Young girl for you.
That's cool. I mean, and that's a big risk. I mean, you worked your way up. You're with that company for many years, and you like you said, you have this corner office. I'm sure that was kind of scary.
It was, and I had 3 kids to support too. It
Oh
was
my God.
terrifying. And I lived off of credit cards for a while. I didn't pay that off until about 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm 56 now, so it took a long time to pay off all that debt and get out from under that big cloud, but it was totally worth it. Even all those years that I felt like I was struggling and I had that giant burden on me, the voiceover was the thing that really made me feel good at the end of the day, so, and made me feel worthwhile, like I was doing something of value, so yeah, it's totally worth it. So, and years ago, also at age 40, I started doing some personal growth work. I was going through a lot of changes in my life, and somebody asked me the question, "What do you want?" And up until that point, I hadn't really thought about it. And that's a big question. It's an important question, and I don't think enough people ask themselves that question. What do you really want? If you could do anything or be anything, what do you want? And then just start making a list, and then as you get older, you start ticking things off the list, and it's very surprising what comes to pass if you start visualizing like that.
Yeah, I mean, I really believe the key to happiness is figure out what's your bliss, what brings you joy in this world, and then figure out a way to get someone to pay you for doing that. Because you'll never work, I mean, there'll always be days where it feels like work, but 80% of the time, it won't. It'll just be like, I'm creating something, I'm doing something that fills my soul up, and I can sustain myself doing it. And that's like, that's a perfect existence.
Yep.
And if you ever think now I'm not saying anything, absolutely anything is possible. I'm not going to go join the NFL tomorrow. But if you're ever looking for, they're filled up until next summer. But if you're ever looking for some inspiration as to what is possible in the world, just remember that there is a man that gets paid to see if he can eat 3 pounds of pancakes in an hour. So it's not that anything is.
You can get paid for playing video games online.
Yes.
I don't know how that happens, but it does. And if that's what you love to do, figure out a way to get paid for it.
You can get paid to kill people. Well, I mean, you can. Sorry.
Talk to me afterwards.
It'll be a huge job, huge.
Oh, God.
Kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey guys, this is your friendly neighborhood tech guy. I was wondering if you have any funny stories of you messing with your tech in the booth, or the booth in the tech messing with you.
I don't.
Messing with the tech and crew at a con?
Or no, in the well, at a con or in the booth.
So you guys don't know this, but we don't have monitors, so we don't hear all the sounds going this way. We have no audio coming this way, so we don't hear anybody.
He wanted to know if we'd ever screwed around with our tech, if anything. Is this? Am I? Oh, working. Hear me?
Everything.
All the time. We do that all the time in the
Why,
booth.
it's a oblum.
Why is there?
Do we mess with the text, or the text mess with us? Was that the question?
We mess with the tech guys. Yeah, we'll screw around
we
in the
mess with
booth
them.
like that all the time. It's just like, I can't. It's how. What?
Yeah, that's true. I've been in those sessions.
I apologize for DNA on their microphone a lot. 'Cause I scream a lot. It's like, ah! It's like dripping.
I know. And iPads. We use iPads now to try and, get rid of paper, and there's DNA all over it. It's just, you just wipe it off.
We collect it and make little Steves. There's a booth out in the dealer room. You'll see it.
You don't want to mess with your tech too much, though, because those are the people that make you sound good.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're friends with them, because they can really mess you up on the other side.
They can blow out your eardrums on the headphones. So you're always kind to the people that take care of you.
Yeah. Or they can make you scream 10 times in a row and you don't really need to.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that one. Will you do it again?
I did that to Vic Mignogna once. He was being a pain in the butt. It's like, scream again, Vic. We didn't get that. What? Petty tyrannies. Little tortures.
Who has another question?
Hey, are you guys part of the SAG voice actor strike? And is there any status on what the progress is on that, or do you know anything about that?
Yes. Well, it's for those of you who don't know, SAG-AFTRA is our union, and we are currently on strike for video games, and mostly because of health and safety issues. For screaming, for example, right now we're required to scream up to 4 hours at a time. Our sessions are 4 hours long, even on vocally stressful occasions. And a lot of people are hurting themselves. There have been a couple people that we know that had to have surgery this year.
Yeah.
I screamed myself so hard it was a couple weeks ago that I could barely speak for about 3 days. And fortunately I haven't done any permanent damage, but it's quite possible and very easy to create permanent damage doing that. So we're trying to get that less into 2 hours. We're trying to get stunt coordinators for motion capture. Right now, they're allowed to have an intern hang somebody from a 30-foot ceiling, and with no experience doing that, and their life is literally in this guy's hands, and there's no requirements for that. And a stunt coordinator is required on set for virtually every other type of entertainment filming. And then there's a financial component to it also. There are games like Call of Duty, for instance, that are multi-billion-dollar games, and we don't get any benefit from that. We get a set fee, and that's it. And celebrities are able to make their own deal, and they get some benefits on the back end. So we try to work that out. Right now, all we're asking for is a bonus payment after they sell 2 million units. And it's basically the same fee that we get for one session. So it's very minimal things like that, that we're asking for, and they're saying no to everything. And we're just basically trying to get a 20-year-old contract up to today's standards. And we're at a stalemate right now. It's unfortunate, and when we do have to go on these picket lines, we're always picketing in front of one of the buildings where I have a ton of friends inside. It's really hard. I hate doing this, but I've taken kind of a leadership position, especially on the vocal stress issue for this strike. And we're going to hold out as long as it takes. And it's really not so much for me necessarily, because I can make my own deals. I generally don't work more than 2-hour sessions. But there's a whole new group of people coming in to our industry that we're fighting on their behalf. And 2 of my sons are going into voiceover right now, and I don't want them to blow out their throats permanently. You know, that it's very important to me that they're protected. So so we're fighting for the right reasons. It's the money issue is the lowest part of that for us. So and right now we're at a stalemate.
And also, it's when we work on video games. Imagine someone interviews you for a job, and they go, "Can't tell you where you're going to work, can't tell you what you're going to be doing, but I can tell you, you're going to do it for a couple hours." Like, we don't know what the names of the video games are, who we're playing, what is the storyline. Is our character going to have to do something crazy with a old priest and a young priest and a cross? We don't know. It's true. So that's another component, and that's why a lot of times not a lot of times. Sometimes when you bring us things to sign, and I'm like, was I? It's because when we did it at the time, I didn't know Final Fantasy 15 was called, blah, 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 coconut water.
Yeah.
So it's about transparency and letting us know what it is that we're actually working on. It makes a difference because, if we know that I'm going to be screaming for 4 hours, I can't schedule that on a Monday because then I'm out of work for the rest of the week. So, I mean, it's also just knowing what it is that we're working on.
Yeah, or if we're going to be playing orcs with a Scottish accent, we have to be able to prepare that the night before.
Yeah.
And that really helps. It helps the performance, especially on video games where we've got to do 2,000 lines in 4 hours. We don't have time to develop the character in the booth. We have to be spot on from the first line, pretty much. And so that's super helpful information. And we sign non-disclosure agreements. It's a legal binding contract that we're not allowed to talk about this stuff anyway. So, it seems very logical to us and to our agents that we know what we're working on. It's very simple.
Yeah.
But thanks for caring. And
and it's not every company either.
No.
Right?
Yeah, there's like companies like Blizzard, for example, have no problem with any of this stuff, and they've treated us really well from day one.
Yeah.
They're very cautious about the vocal stress that they put us through.
We love Blizzard.
Yeah, and they're honestly, yeah, thank you. Yes. Good shout out, thank you. And most of the bigger companies really try. They do their best to protect us in the booth, but they have to get stuff done, and they have people who are making these financial decisions behind the scenes that we never meet. And those are the guys that are saying, no, I don't care what it takes. Make them scream for 4 hours. We've got to get this done. And their hands are tied, and they say, I'm sorry, and they're apologizing to us profusely for it, but they have to get it done. So if they have a contract, then it lets them off the hook too.
Yeah.
Stephen, what are you doing?
Recording a video game?
Oh.
Performance matters.
Performance matters, yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. The other reason, one of the main reasons that I was compelled to go on strike in the first place too, is that when we were first negotiating all of this, the lawyer for the producers sat in a room with a lot of the voice actors, and he looked us in the face and he said, you know what? You guys don't matter. I can get anybody to do your voice. And we just said, really? Really? You would say that to us? And I said, we had a discourse going back and forth, and the guy just would not change his position. He goes, no, you really don't matter. There's 150 people that we could call right now that could come in and do Tank Dempsey for Call of Duty. I mean, that was his position on this. But then he gets up at the end of this meeting, and Phil Lamar was sitting across from him, and he goes, oh, by the way, I'm a huge fan of yours. Would you like to go to lunch with me? And Phil goes, no, not really, no. And Phil was one of these guys also who was hung from a 25, 30-foot ceiling by an intern. And, his life was literally in danger. So it was just the arrogance on the other side was really awful, too. So I thought, you know what? I'm with you guys. I'm going to go on strike. I hate this stuff, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I think, it's great. I think you have been very courageous in leading that. So it's thank you.
Scary. It's really scary, and I don't like it, but thanks.
Yeah. Got to pick your battles.
For a good cause.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. What is your funniest Christmas story?
Funniest Christmas story. Oh.
Die Hard 3.
Hear that? I don't know. I didn't have Christmases till I was grown up.
Oh. I'm drawing a blank.
Me too.
Oh, okay. We were making Christmas dinner at my sister's house, and we were, you know how when you make a gravy, you've got to make a roux, which is to thicken the gravy. You got to use cornstarch or flour with salt and pepper, and you put it in something with a little water, and you shake it up to make a thickening agent. Well, we were shaking it up, and I was shaking it up, and it slipped through my hands, hit the floor, and exploded like a volcano over all of us and the ceiling and everything else. So we were covered in this white roux, and just thought that was really fun. And we laughed a lot over that.
One time, they were doing, when I was in college, they were doing this special at the grocery store, because we were college kids, and we loved food, but we didn't always have it. Because we were poor college kids. And so they're like, if you get X amount of groceries, you get a free turkey. And so we're like, okay, let's get it. And we got all the groceries, and then we got the turkey back, and then we're like, well, we've never cooked a turkey. So we did. And so we go to the oven, and the oven is like, you know, my Easy Bake, my first little Easy Bake, that's super small. The kitchen was very, very small. I'm not kidding. I mean, like, it was oven, and then little sink, like no counter space. And so I got the turkey ready. I tried to remember, my mom is a really great cook, actually, and so I'm remembering what she was trying to do, and so I put some sauce and some, voodoo spells on it. And then I stuck it in the oven, and I was going to close the door, and the door goes, geek. The turkey's sticking out this wide. And I'm like, well, we effing bought groceries. We are cooking this turkey. So the whole house was hot for 6 hours while we are cooking this turkey, and every hour I go down, open it, turn the turkey, put the other half in, and cook it. 6 hours we're cooking this turkey, hot as hell. And this, son, why do you cook turkeys like this, son? You should have been doctor. I'm not even graduated college yet. And so we cooked the turkey that way for literally 6 hours. We're sweating. It's so freaking hot in the apartment that we lived in. But we ate on that turkey until it grew a gelatinous overcoat, because we're like, we worked hard to cook that turkey, and we also said never again will we cook a turkey in this oven. But that was a very stressful situation.
I would have sat on it for you.
No. How many of you guys have cats? How many trees have gone over because of your cats?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Kari Wahlgren is another amazing, brilliant voice actress. And if you're following her on Twitter, she just got 2 new kittens. And I think she got this beautiful tree, and it is now a cat tree, literally a cat tree, because they're just hanging from the top to like right up there.
She doesn't dare put ornaments on it.
Oh no, it's a really bad idea.
She posted a picture of one of her cats hanging by one paw from a chandelier. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just decorate the cat as long as it's up there.
I'm meowsing.
I don't really have a crazy Christmas story, but when my kids were little, one of my sons, Jeremy, is here. He surprised me and showed up yesterday. Everybody say hi to Jeremy. But when and Larry Furry, my dear friend Larry Furry, we call him Fuzzy because he is, brought him out here to surprise me. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. When Jeremy was really little, I used to do things to sort of trick him into thinking there was a real Santa Claus, and we had a fireplace, and I would actually form footprints out of soot, and we put cookies out there, and I would record. That was like the very beginning of my voiceover career. I had a crappy little tape recorder, and I would record the sound of Santa landing on the roof, and I would have like little coconuts and stuff at the hooves and jingle bells, and I'd look like an idiot doing this. You should have seen me recording this stuff, Jer. It was ridiculous. And I would have Santa, and he would always fall down the chimney every year. Do you remember that? And you just hear him thump at the bottom, and nothing broken. He was all right. And he got out and ate the cookies, and I think he would complain about the type of cookies we'd put out for him. It was the traditional Santa. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, Jeremy's been a good boy this year, despite the fact that he's Jewish. But I don't remember when you found out that Santa wasn't real, or do you still believe that? Okay. Was that traumatic for you? Was it traumatic for you to find out that Santa wasn't real and your dad was the idiot on
Santa
the...
is real. I don't know where
Traumatic
you're
enough for me to
thinking.
not remember the experience.
You don't remember it at all? Oh, that's really
I don't remember
sad.
finding out. I remember the tapes.
Oh, you remember the tapes? Oh, good.
Yeah, I remember the footprint. I don't remember finding out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Santa's real.
Santa is real.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know where.
Yeah, of course Santa's real.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mom.
That would have been great if he plays back the tape and he hears Santa, and then in the background he's like, "What is that? Amplify that sound." I mean, it's Krampus. And then you just hear the blood curdling Santa just trying to get back up the chimney.
You're higher.
And you hear me go, you leave pieces of beard like around.
Little bits of reindeer fur.
Yeah.
And a reindeer hoof.
Yeah.
Ew, wow, that took a dark turn.
Thanks, Todd.
I never had Christmas.
Christmas.
I like this version. My mom's in the back just silently, yes, son.
Because
Told
you
you
were
there was
not
no
a
Christmas.
dentist. Should have been a dentist.
Shut up in a dentist.
You have a talent for causing things pain. Ow.
All awesome stories. So glad you guys are here. My question is, are there any animes that you guys have seen that you've been like, man, I really, would have wanted to be a part of that you haven't been?
Death Note. I wanted to be a part of Death Note. Man. I don't watch a lot of anime that I'm not working on because I directed 635 episodes of Naruto, which is a lot to watch. So, yay, Naruto!
Yes.
But it was, and both of these guys amazing on Naruto. Oh my goodness. But Death Note, I remember seeing like, what is this? And I watched the whole thing and I thought, and I remember going to my boss going, Viz Entertainment just got this show. We've got to get this show because I want to direct the show. And it went to Canada. They did a great job, but that was one that I just thought, oh man, I would have loved to have been a part of that because I just thought that was really innovative and cool and gods and Shinigami and all this stuff. That was just awesome. So, yeah.
Pretty much any Miyazaki film. I would have loved to work on one of those. It's so beautiful. It's beautifully done.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect answer. Totally. When you see those, I'm working my way through them, and then when the imagination, you just kind of sit there and it almost takes you out of it because it's just like, how do you come up with that? Are you eating some sort of ancient mushroom and then like, this is the allergic reaction is what we're seeing on the screen because they're so imaginative.
Yeah.
And you're like, when you're crafting the script, how do you even put that into words to make sense? To where someone else can decipher what you're trying to create.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Yeah. Good question. Hi.
Hi.
Where are you?
Oh, hi.
Oh, there. Okay.
I know
Here,
that.
stand up for us, because that helps.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know everyone probably in this room knows how hard you guys work, but I've come across people who aren't really into the whole anime or the voiceover business that really don't know, and that includes the media, that includes parents. What would you like to tell them so that they would somewhat understand?
It's the best job in the world. It really is. I mean, 2016 was a rough one, but I was talking, I mean, just for a lot of reasons, but work-wise. I mean, I've been working on this new series, we're doing Tangled, the series, and every day we go in and we work on this amazing, and we watched it, and there's Alan Menken doing the music for it, and this beautiful song that's, all these songs that are gonna come out, and we just sit here and it's like, I can't believe we get to work on this, and it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of preparation. I'm gonna get on a plane and do 5 hours of prep for tomorrow and Tuesday before the holiday break, you know? So I do a lot of homework, but I love it, thank you. And I love doing it because then when I get in the booth, I'm prepared, and then there's more work because every actor has a different key to unlock them and get them to give the best performance where they're not overthinking things. And so it's this constant puzzle putting things together, and then you're doing one voice at a time, so it's like recording a symphony, one instrument at a time, and it's just an amazing job. It's an amazing form of play and of creativity on a level that's so cerebral and so much heart and soul is in it, without any physicality really. Because if you make too much noise while you're doing it, we can't use the take. So it's a really interesting craft that is just an honor to be a part of for me anyway. Yeah.
You have to kind of live and breathe this job. I feel like I'm doing this 7 days a week, because I am most of the time. I mean, I bring a microphone with me in my car. I have one in my backpack that I bring to conventions. I have a little recording rig so that I'm recording auditions in my hotel room. I'm literally working, not with this weekend being the exception, but pretty much all year. I work 7 days a week, and I'm thinking about it all the time. And I'm working harder now than I was when I was working 3 jobs. And I was doing labor jobs too. I was moving stuff. When I was working for the film company for years, I was the whipping boy. I carried the heaviest things that they had in the company. I pushed things around in warehouses. I did real labor things. I had to clean up poop and worse in the parking lots.
Turn them into ornaments.
Yeah, turn them into ornaments. Yeah, but with the heaviest, hardest labor jobs I had, I work harder than I ever have in my life now. And I love doing it. I don't mind it. I've always liked working hard, but voiceover it's probably the hardest job that you'll ever love. And you hear that about other things, but it's really it's not an easy gig. It really isn't an easy gig.
Unless you're Chris Rock.
Right. Chris Rock seems to think it's piece of cake.
Yeah.
But to really become proficient at this and to be successful at this, you have to take it very seriously and treat it like a business. And I think that's the biggest misunderstanding, is that people think, well, I talk all day long. Why can't I just speak into a microphone and get paid? You have to work at it every single day. You have to make yourself better and more knowledgeable every single day. And even at this stage in my life, I'm still learning every single day. I strive to do that. I'm working on dialects. I'm working on being a better actor, a better person, being quicker. When you're working with people like this, you got to be quick on your feet, because sometimes we're in an improv situation. It's really a lot harder than you think. And there's a website. If you're talking about your parents don't understand this, is that what you said? Yeah, parents and media. If they go to iwanttobeavoiceactor.com and look at that and actually read what's in there, they'll have a whole different understanding of what the business really is. I think that's a great question.
Yeah.
This is going to be our last question for the day. We do have to close at 12:30, but here we go.
What's the funniest thing you guys have ever done on set?
On set?
I'll start because I know you guys are going to top me. I was, every now and then you go in, and I was doing voices on Halo. I didn't know it was Halo at the time. And I was doing fighting efforts, so you could come and beat the crap out of me if you wanted to. And they said, so the easiest thing for us to do is just for you to parrot the other guy that also came in to do the incidental pounding, basically, getting pounded. So we could play you what he did, and then you can just, like a tennis match, hit the ball back. Just repeat what he did in your own voice. So it would be like, for instance, and it turned out that it was Steve that I was parroting. So like just so we did that, and they were like, I don't know, 40 or 50 of them. Which is hard, and you're sort of punching and trying not to hurt your voice the whole time, and you end up punching sort of from the diaphragm, and your whole body gets involved after a while. And near about the 40th or 42nd one, during my version of and I went and at the same time I farted. And I looked up instantly at the engineering, and everybody was still looking down and doing, and I was like, nobody noticed. So the next one was like, and I just kept going, and I realized that at the end, I said, you guys good? They're like, yeah, that was awesome, that was fantastic. I was like, great. So I now know that one of my farts is in Halo. Unlocked.
I was on set for something, and there was where we all ate lunch every day, there was a motorcycle, and it belonged to one of the directors on set, and the motorcycle didn't run very frequently, but I would always say that I want to ride that motorcycle, and this director was very, very particular about this motorcycle, and they didn't want
they relented, but everyone's like, no, you can't take that motorcycle out. So one day, they were in another part of the set, and I got out of makeup, and I found the keys, because it was a crew effort. I had to figure out where the keys were, snag the keys, take them, then the crew had to help me get the bike out and get it outside. And what I wanted to do was be outside when the director came outside to see it, and he would see that I'm on his bike, and I would peel out and take off. So I got on the bike. Now the bike had been sitting there a long time, so it didn't have much gas. And so I'm taking it down, and I'm warming it up, getting it ready. And the director never came out. And then, but he did get upset. And then I turned to the director and I said, Vic, the bike was sitting there for a long time. You never drove it. And then he calmed down. But yeah, Vic's bike was sitting over under this shed, or under the stairwell for a very long time, and I snuck it out, got pictures of it, and then posted the pictures online, and then he's like, wait a minute, that's my, yeah. So I got his bike without him knowing.
Was that Vic Mignogna?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well done. Well done. Yay.
Stealing.
Stealing is fun.
Stealing is great, yeah. I have so many stories, but since you brought up the fart thing, why not? I was working on X-Men Legends, and it was the first time I voiced Wolverine. And in the what they call the sound set, where you're doing all the fighting sequences, Wolverine fights a lot, and when he goes feral, it's yeah, when he's doing the swipes and stuff. The very first swipe I did, I farted, and they didn't hear it, and I was just gonna let it go by, and I was really nervous because I was playing Wolverine for the first time. I didn't want to screw it up, and so I covered it up. I just asked him politely to do another take, but then they kept hiring me back for Wolverine. And then I found that literally every single time I voiced Wolverine, I would fart when I'm doing the claw swipes. And it wasn't necessarily in the punches or the kicks, it was always the claw swipes. There's something about the physicality of doing that I farted. And it sort of became a game with me to see if I could sneak him in. And so, literally in pretty much every incarnation you hear of Wolverine now, there are farts in the background. So now it's like a Where's Waldo, you can listen for that.
Just the fact that you could, trust that many farts is sort of an amazing.
Oh, I didn't. There's a certain point where you have to let go of the control, and if you want to get that swipe out, that's the other thing about voiceover that is a misunderstanding, that it's a very controlled thing. Not for me. I go in there, and when I'm doing that swipe, I'm literally going, and I'm swinging so hard that I will knock the person out next to me.
He just farted.
Right? So, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'll just clean it up later. It's worth it for the art.
Right.
I put
Charging for art.
I put the art in the fart.
Art in the shart.
Wow, we always seem to end on that, don't we?
I know, we're so classy like that.
Oh, do we have one more? No, are we done?
No, that's it. We've got, we're signing today over in the dealer room, so please come over and say hi. We'll be signing from...
For just a little while,
from
yeah.
1 to 2:30, I think, and it's our last signing before the end of the con.
Yeah, but before we go, thank you guys so much for welcoming us here and sharing your Christmas spirit with us.
Holidays with us.
And before you go, please say thank you to your staff members. They're the reason we all have a good time.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you guys. We love you so much.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any parting words?
I did it while you were talking. I stuck it in. But yeah, seriously, guys, thank you. You guys have this one weekend of 2016 in December, and you could do anything in the world, and you chose to come hang here and hang out with us and plan for this. And so we are so honored for your hospitality and your graciousness. So thank you and happy holidays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Give it up for your voice actors, guys.